So here I was, sitting by myself, just scrolling through Twitter like no other day because I have nothing else to do with my life. And I look and I find, oh look, someone commented under my very good friend's post about Lord of the Rings. I'm sure it's interesting and not a point that has become clearly redundant due to thousands of fanboys regurgitating it over the years. I look and it's motherfucking Jaime speaking up once again about his tomfoolery. And now here I am to explain why Frodo and company couldn't have just taken the Eagles straight to Mordor. More like Deus Ex Eagles, am I right? Ha ha ha! You're not original, Jaime. Let's get to it. So, at the time of its birth, and during his entire lifetime, Tolkien and his works never had a real solution towards the Deus Ex Eagles of the series. While there are some natural things that could be explained, such as time, distance, and military strategies, there was never, aside from a single mention of not using them too heavily if there was ever a film adaptation, Tolkien never truly spoke on the fact that the Eagles could just fly them over. Well then, tiptoe all the way back here to 2000s when Peter Jackson and the entirety of the crew were making the first ever Lord of the Rings movies. On the writer-director commentary DVD track in the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson and his writing companion Joe Welsh, don't quote me on that, I don't know, talk about the idea that Mordor has sky defenses and eagles, as cool as they may be, not necessarily be the best fly fighters in the world, which is why they are basically used for quick escape. I mean, Mordor has the Nazguls, which are basically giant-ass wyverns, and you're gonna have a wyvern versus a freaking eagle. You know who's gonna win that fight.
Frodo weighs little. Mount him on an eagle and send them straight away to Mount Doom.
Indeed. So simple is that. You think so mighty a creature as one of the great eagles could simply waft into Mordor and escape the eye that never sleeps? No. Not all the eagles of the Misty Mountains could stand against Sauron and the full power of his ringwraiths. It would be folly. Nor, for that matter, do the great eagles take orders from us.
The eagles themselves are canonically, non-canonically, part of the Maiar, which is another sort of angelic race, but then again they're retconned to be just very intelligent higher beings. Either way, Gandalf would probably be afraid to send them in due to the corrupting nature of the ring. The whole point of Frodo having the ring is that if someone like Gandalf has it, he turns into Saruman, right? But if someone like Frodo has a ring, he basically turns into Gollum. So there's high risk, high reward. You let the freaking eagles get near that ring. Who knows what the hell will happen? Could they easily be turned? We don't know. Let's not even deal with that nonsense. And another reason could possibly be the giant eye Sauron has. He's a giant eye, and they have to do a giant battle to distract him so that Frodo and Sam could get up the mountain. Do you remember that? He's a giant eye. He's gonna see the eagles coming. Literally, the only reason the eagles are able to even rescue them at the end is because the forces have fallen, Sauron's been taken down, and the eagles are able to swoop in for a quick drop, pick up, let's go. Because that's what they're good for. They can pick up and run. That's it. Also, another point you can make is just basically the eagles being nah. They are high-level beasts. You could put them on to having really great capacities for strategy and conversation and culture. So basically, they can't just order them around. You can request their aid, and if they're down, they'll give it to you. But basically, they have their own lands to protect. They have their own families. There's not like a million of them. They're only gonna get involved if they have to, which is really they only rescue Gandalf due to the request of Radagast, because they kind of knew where he was. So that's the only reason. And then Gandalf, I'm sure, having a connection with them due to their angelic and higher being relationship type thing, was able to ask for their aid again, but it's not those are just several reasons why these guys couldn't necessarily aid and take them all the way over there. You know what I mean? I mean, also archers exist, just like crossbows, fire breathing wyvern. There's lots of reasons. There's lots of reasons.